Welcome to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld. Today I have with me Jordan Maxwell, and he is an analyst of symbolic realities, the way people have taken information and also distorted it in order to control people's minds, and have used symbols which affect our subconscious and manipulate consciousness. Really, I think
that's the object of symbols, is to manipulate consciousness. Yeah, that's why you have symbols, because symbols tell you something, and they speak to you. Classic examples: you drive through downtown Los Angeles and you see graffiti on the walls.
Right.
Most people, most adults, think it's just childish, destroying property. But no, those symbols mean something. And if you understand the culture that developed those symbols, they're telling you something.
Well, it's not so much to manipulate, it's more to express.
But they're also manipulating you, because now you've read it, now you understand what it's saying, now you abide by what it's saying, so it's manipulating you.
Or reacting to what
reacting
and
to
that's
it,
still a
of course.
manipulation.
Yeah.
So is there any way to avoid? So one of the ways is to be aware of it.
Yeah, at least to be aware that propaganda comes in all forms, verbal, motion pictures, television, newspapers, magazines. But propaganda does not deceive you. It helps you to deceive yourself. So you need to educate yourself as to how symbols are used, who's doing this. And it's not necessarily bad in all cases, of course. I mean,
Right.
You advertise products, you advertise the reason why that product is better than the other. It's a propaganda, but at least it's explaining something to you. The point I want to make is that you need to understand that there are very powerful organizations in this world that have lots of money and they have an agenda. They will put their propaganda, they pay large sums of money to professional people that know how to manipulate you.
Right.
And they know what you want to hear.
Well, tell us what those specific symbols are.
Well, I mean, a classic one is like the Nazis used the swastika. The swastika was used by the Hindus before, and the Buddhists, and many other religions. But now, today, when you see the swastika, it tells you something instantly. And symbols are very important, and words and terms. Words are really important.
Because words are symbols of sound.
Of course. Words actually are very, very important stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be surprised how much trouble you can get into in a court by using the wrong words.
Yeah. But just getting back to symbols, just to clarify something, symbols in the true religious sense were there to initiate people to higher levels of consciousness.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we break that down and free people to...
Education, very simple. And it's not like I'm coming up with something vastly different that no one's ever heard. No, it's in a library. Go to the library and pick. It's all there. I mean, wisdom and knowledge is everywhere if you just want to take the time to look. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 48 years of study. Now, religion is a corporation. It's all the religions of the Western world, especially in the Western world, all religions operate under maritime admiralty law. So there are certain...
What do you mean maritime admiralty law?
Maritime admiralty is the law of water. And I talk a lot about this in the past. I'm going to talk a lot about it in the future.
Okay.
There are only two things on the earth, on this earth, land and water.
Right.
So there are two kinds of law, the law of the land and the law of water. The law of the land is the custom of the people who live on a particular piece of land. So the law of the land is different in every country.
Right. What are some of those laws that we're not aware of?
The word bench is a bank in Latin.
Oh.
And so the judge is ruling for the bank. That's why he wears a black robe, because the black robe represents the planet Saturn, the god of banking and law. The black robe represents the planet Saturn, who in the ancient world was called Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
Well, he is Lord of the Rings.
Right, there's rings.
And so women were told in the ancient world to listen to their god, so they would wear an ear ring. Men were to get married before their god, so they wear a wedding ring. Because Saturn was Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
And he is also the inhibitor. He was the one who holds you back. He represents government, banking, the police department, all kinds of institutions that are powerful that can hold you back. He was the inhibitor, the judge, the court, the government.
The structure in
The structure,
astrology.
right.
Yeah.
And so Saturn was the inhibitor who holds you back.